Hi, I'm Sandy, and welcome to Life with Sandy. Well, hello. Today is Tuesday, November 29th, and we do have a birthday today. Today is Gwen Riley's birthday. So Gwen, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Gwen. Happy birthday to you. Cha-cha-cha. Well, I hope you have a great birthday. We also have another Sylvia. Yesterday was Sylvia something. I know it was an initial. I think it was a P. But today it's just Sylvia's birthday. So two Sylvias. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Sylvia. Happy birthday to you. Cha-cha-cha. Well, I know there are two different Sylvias because the one that I have from yesterday has the initial, which I'll put right here. And then today's it just says Sylvia. So I am assuming it's two different Sylvias, but just in case, maybe the other Sylvia got two songs. Who's to know? But you know what, Sylvia? You're not the only person in the world named Sylvia. Just like I am not the only person in the world named Sandy. Although my mother named me, she named me Sandra because she thought that it was not a very popular name. And so she didn't think there'd be very many people named Sandra. And I think there was 5 or 6 of us in my kindergarten class. It was a popular name. But anyway, that's enough about me. Today is Cheryl and Jerry Sims's anniversary. So Cheryl and Jerry, I don't know how many years, but I know it's your anniversary. Happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy, 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 happy anniversary, happy, 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 happy anniversary. Well, I hope you have a great, great anniversary. I don't know if you can hear the garbage trucks in the background. We're kind of curious because the people across the street got all new furniture and they have like their whole living room set out by the curb. It rained last night, so if anybody was going to pick it up, forget that because it got soaking wet. So we're kind of, Jim says, I wonder if they're going to pick it up. I said, I think they probably will. You don't know. Sometimes you have to order a special pickup, but I'm not going to be concerned about it because as long as they pick up my trash, that's all I really care about. It's kind of hard to see my bird feeders because of the tree, but I can still see the birds. I just sit back here and look at my tree. When we went looking for the Christmas tree, I told Jim I just wanted a small tree, and so he's looking at like these little 3-4 foot trees, and or 5 foot trees even. And I saw this one, and I said, "No, this is exactly what I want." And he says, "That's a Charlie Brown tree. That's kind of puny." I says, "Once I get it decorated, it will be perfect, and it's just the right size. I'm just going to put it on a table. I just wanted a tabletop tree, and it's easy to store in the closet up here, so I don't have to worry." I used to have all my Christmas stuff down the basement, and then after Thanksgiving, that was the only thing that my boys, Danny and Jimmy, hated, was the fact that after Thanksgiving they had to bring up all of my Christmas storage boxes, which I probably have, well, I have too many. I would say I probably have 3, 6, 9. I do everything in excess. Even my weight, I do that in excess too. It gained 4 pounds yesterday. I would say I probably have about 20 bins. I have like a music box bin, I have like a Christmas tree bin, I have the decorations, I have the Christmas toys that go under the tree, I have the manger, I have the lights, I have the garland, I have a lot. So they were always looking forward to when David and Josh got old enough that they'd start to bring it up, and they only did it for 1 year, and I paid them to do it. So Jimmy and Danny said, you never paid us. I go, yeah, you were grown men. They're just kids. But the 1 year I thought to myself, you have 2 bedrooms with empty closets that you don't put anything in. When I have guests, they don't stay long enough to unpack to hang in a closet. But if they did, I would clear out some room. But they usually just stay with their suitcase. I do have drawers that they can use, So So I brought everything. I had them that Thanksgiving at the end of Christmas, like New Year's, when I put them all, I just stuffed them in the closet up here. So now I just can pull out a bin when I want it myself. And if it's too heavy for me to lift, I just take the lid off and empty it onto the couch and then move it on. Because as I'm getting older, these boxes are a little bit heavier. So, but I cut back this year because, I I have so much stuff, and I know I should probably get rid of some of the stuff. My kids have always teased me that when Christmas comes, or when I pass rather, when I pass, they're just going to take all of my stuff and cart it to the curb. And I said, you know what? It's going to be a treasure chest. People are going to be going through my stuff and wanting it. And they went, I don't think so. I said, you wait and see. I know they won't do that. They say they'll do that, but I know what they'll do. They'll have an estate sale. They'll do something like that. I mean, I have too much stuff. I will be the first to admit, but I just can't part with it. They have memories. This is my subscriber Christmas tree. When I put these ornaments up, I remember exactly where I got them, when I got them, and who I got them from. And the pillow I got from Mary. She got me 2 of them. The first one she got me. See, when you have rollers on your chairs, that's a bad thing. That means you don't give up. This is the first one she gave me. And what do you spot that's wrong? I'll point it out. Alyssa's name is spelled wrong. So she got another one rather than send that one back. And so she's got the snowman with all of their names. So I'll fix it later. So I had those out. I don't have much decorations. I got my snowman. I love Christmas. I really do. So today I'm still back on track. That loss. Don't I wish it was a loss. The gain yesterday just really, really threw me. It just, and I slept sound again last night. I'm trying to wean myself into going back to bed earlier so that I don't get up so late and waste most of the day, especially since it gets dark like at 4:30. Not like on the East Coast. I remember when my uncles, I know, I'm on a ramble today. When my uncles came for my father's funeral, they wanted to see him in the ground before they left. And only because my brother-in-law, Bruce, who is Sue's husband's father, worked at the cemetery. Because usually what they just do is you just have the ceremony in the chapel at the cemetery. You don't even go to the gravesite because of the weather. And my father passed away on December 30th of 1983. So it was a hard winter that year. It really was. We had a lot of snow. But so we had the service in the what do you call it, in the chapel at the cemetery. But then my uncles wanted to see the gravesite. So, we walked over to the gravesite, and obviously the hole wasn't dug or anything because of the weather, and because they wanted to know where he was going to be laid to rest. And so then Bruce's dad was there at the funeral, and so he was talking to them at the wake, asking them how long they were going to stay and all that stuff. And so he got his crew out there, and they put some heaters on the grave, and they dug the grave, and they put my father in the ground before his family left. And my family, I went, we'll just do anything for anybody. And you know what? He was family. His name was Stan. He was family. I don't care. Stan was family. And he did that for me and my family. He did that for us. He did it for Sue mostly because that's his daughter-in-law. But I mean, so anyway, he had called me and told me that he said, just so you know that your father's in the ground. I've already put him to rest. And, like if you wanted to bring your family before they left to go back to Boston. So I had called my uncle Frank, who was, they didn't stay at the house. They stayed at a hotel. And I told him, and he said, well, would we have time to go in the morning? And I said, well, yeah, the cemetery opens at 7:30, I think it was back then, because of the weather. Well, maybe it was 8 o'clock. I think it was 8 o'clock because of the light. It didn't, they didn't open till it was light. And he says, 8 o'clock, that's going to push it close because we have a 2 o'clock flight out. And I said, well, we can probably do it with no problem. So Jim and I went to pick him up like at 6:30. And he was just amazed that we were driving in the middle of the night, how dark it was, because in Boston, the sun comes up like at 6 o'clock because it goes down. The whole time he was commenting how light it was, like at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. He was saying, I can't believe it's still light. He said, it was getting dark. It was dusky like, but not dark. And I said, well, that's because the sun comes up way faster by you. We get the tail end of the sun because like 3 hours, maybe 4 hours west of me is when the time zone changes. So I'm right at the very end of the time zone. Pretty much, not right at the end, but pretty close to the end of the time zone. So the whole time we were driving to the cemetery, he kept saying, I just can't get over how dark it is. It's like night. It's like night. That always just stayed with me. But they felt so much better seeing my dad in the ground. I know it just, he didn't have his headstone or anything on there, but like obviously we could see where he was. We knew exactly where it was, and my uncle pointed out landmarks so that he said, so when I come here, I don't have to come with you next time. If I come, I'll know snow. And he was like pointing out trees and stuff, and I got thinking, they're gonna grow. Trees are gonna get bigger by the time you come back. But anyway, so then he says, well, we're gonna leave money on, because my family, our tradition when we go to I'm not a grave goer. I don't go to the graves. In my heart, I know that their bodies are there, but their spirits are gone. All my family's in here with me right now. I mean, they follow me wherever I go. I just know that. So I don't go to the cemetery. I'm not a cemetery going person. But when I do go, like if a family member comes from out of town and wants to go to the gravesite, I always bring them. I know exactly where it is. I know exactly how to get to it. And we always leave money. We always leave change, because my dad always said, just in case there's an admission to get into heaven, he didn't want to be short in his pocket. So in his casket, we made sure he had money in his pocket. and we also made sure that every time we go to the gravesite, we'd always leave some money on the gravesite. So I'm sure, like other little kids, they're going to the cemetery, they'll probably go by the grave and grab up the money. But I don't have a problem with that. But it's just something that we do in my family. So anyway, once again, off on a subject that I have no idea where we got here. But the dark, I don't know how dark it gets early. Whatever it is. The older I get, the more I lose my train of thought. I think I should just write down what I'm going to say, and then I'll just know exactly where I'm going with something, because I just kind of go off on a rant. But like memories like that for my dad. This is the time of year that my dad was so sick. And it was really hard. I mean, we had just, for Thanksgiving that year, 1983, we had just sat down for dinner. We had everything on the table. We just sat down, and we got a call from the hospital to come over to the hospital that it was time. And we just got up from the table and went to the hospital, and it wasn't his time. But it was a memory like Thanksgiving. As I sit down, I say a little prayer that, I remember you, Dad. It should be a sad memory, but it was just kind of a nice memory, just to know that he just knew it wasn't his time yet. And we were thankful that it wasn't his time yet. So yeah, it was a good time. It really was, that Thanksgiving. When we got home, all the food was sitting on the table still. We didn't eat any of it, obviously, because we were there for hours and it would have been bad. But we were just thankful that he pulled through that day. And he lived another, 5 weeks? So we got to spend 5 more weeks with him. So that was good. But speaking of spirits and everything, I don't know if that has anything to do with being spirits. Nothing. I'm going to try to segue into this a little bit more politely. I'm not going to even segue into it, because it's not even going to work. It's just not going to work. Anyway, I just been very busy today. I did my laundry. I stripped the bed. I actually had Jim help me make the bed. I have a king-size bed, so it's like a lot of walking around back and forth. And he was just coming out of the bathroom, and I thought, you timed that perfectly, Jim. Get on that end of the bed. So I did that. I did some laundry, paid my December bills. So I got that out of the way, and finished up. I had one more thing to get for Aaron, and I was having a hard time finding it. And Christy finally found it for me, and she sent me the link. So I ordered that today. So I think pretty much, other than getting a couple gift cards, I think I'm pretty much done. I wrap as I go. I got still stuff being delivered. Sophia called me yesterday. Christy told me I was being a sucker. Because she was saying, well, I was going to go to my grandma, because she always goes to her other grandma's house when Christy and Aaron work, because it's on their way to work, so they just leave her there with Kathy. And Christy and Aaron had yesterday off for some reason, so she says, well, I was going to order these, but I'm not going to my grandma's. Can you order it, and I'll just pay you when I see you? And I said, what do you want? She wanted to get some pajamas, bottoms, and a pajama top that says I love my cousin, to wear on our Christmas Eve party on December 17th. Or not Christmas Eve, but our Christmas party on December 17th. And so I said, oh, okay. I said, so well, when are you going to wear them? And she says, well, Alyssa's going to come over and she's going to spend the night. And I said, well, is Alyssa getting some too? And she said, yeah. And I said, I'll just buy them for you as an early Christmas present. So she says, oh, thank you, Grandma. That was so nice of you. And so I ordered them. And then Christy called me and she went, sucker. And you know what? My thought is, I mean, I spend a lot of money. I know this, but I'm very grateful that I have the money to spend. And I've always told my family that don't count on me leaving you money because I just know how I spend money. But I'd like to see the joy on their faces. I know that I have money set aside to leave for them, that they will get some kind of a gift once I'm passed. But I so appreciate seeing the joy on their faces when just getting stuff unexpectedly. That's just what I do. And it's just like when I get things from subscribers unexpectedly, it just makes me feel so much better. It really does. And I like to see that too. So then I was talking to Denise today because we were going to go do some Christmas shopping. I have Kohl's cash to spend. I have $50 in Kohl's cash. I thought it was $45. It was $50. Plus I have a $10 gift card from Kohl's. And so I'll find something. You know, if I got $60 to spend, I'll find $60 to spend. I will. I'll find something to get. But anyway, I was talking to Denise, and I was saying, you know, I don't know what to get Kylie for a gift, but I was telling her about the cousins idea. And so she says, oh, Kylie would love that. And so I says, oh, okay, so I'll order some for Kylie for her pajamas. And then I'll just give it to her when they get there because the girls aren't, I'm going to just wrap them and give them to them when they get there, and then they'll just go in one of the bathroom or something and change their clothes so they'll all be matching with their pajamas. So then I got to thinking about Haley, my niece Holly's daughter, who's also special needs, and I thought, I don't want to leave her out of it. So I called Holly, and she says, oh my gosh, Haley would love that. So I ordered another set. So I have 4 sets of pajamas coming that I have to wrap. And then Jim's I got somebody on the lookout for something that I can't find here in Michigan. So I checked with my cousin, and he's going to look for it. I could probably ask my cousin in Canada, but I don't think it'd make it over the border. So that's why I asked my other cousin who lives in Minnesota that maybe he can find it. We'll see. But if this comes through, Jim will be very surprised because this is like a unicorn on his list that, you know, like he puts it on his list all the time and you can never find it. And I like to surprise him I surprised him with the rifle last year, which shocked him, really did. So anyway, if we could also, I wanted to remember Christy Murphy's great-granddaughter is supposed to be induced tomorrow, but she's coming early. So if you could say prayers for her, that'd be her granddaughter, I guess. Yeah, her granddaughter's having to have the baby induced tomorrow early. And so if you could say prayers that Christy's great-granddaughter, because they know it's a girl, will be born healthy and no complications, and mother and daughter will all come through it perfectly, I would really appreciate that. So that's what I was going to segue into. It just wouldn't have segued into that point at that point. It just wouldn't have. It would just, no, it just really wouldn't have. But anyway, I woke up this morning. I guess that song comes in my mind all the time. You were on my mind. Anyway, I'm still feeling the effects of the overeating. I feel like crap still. I have a headache. I'm not sick. I know that. It's just, it's sugar withdrawal. There's no other word for it. It's just sugar withdrawal because I had some sort of sugar every day. When I would get this feeling every morning, I thought I got to have some sugar and then it would calm it down. And it just caused me to gain 4 pounds, 4.2 to be exact. And I don't want to do that again. So yesterday I stayed perfectly on track. I didn't end up having the grapes last night, the pancakes, and just filled me up. So I was really happy. I ended up with 24 points yesterday. I did drink some extra water during the night, last night, while I was watching TV. I went to bed. I just remembered how I had... I love when this happens. I'm trying to this is what I was talking about earlier, and then I kind of lost my train of thought. Hang on, people, hang on. I better shut up or I'm going to forget it again. I am trying to set myself up to go to bed earlier. That's what I was trying to tell you before. Give it time. It'll come back into this old feeble brain of mine. It won't work its way back there. Anyway, I am trying to work myself into going back to bed a little bit earlier so that I don't waste the whole day, that the whole day doesn't escape from me. We're back. Yeah. So I went to bed at midnight last night, and I'm still in my sugar coma because I did not wake up naturally until 10 o'clock. Now, I did wake up twice during the night to go to the bathroom. I think I went to bed at midnight and I woke up at 1:30 to go to the bathroom, and which is usually what time I usually go anyhow before I go to bed. So I'm thinking my body is just trained to go at 1:30. And then I woke up again at 5, which is another time that my body, just for so many years, I just always get up at 5 o'clock no matter what to go to the bathroom. And then I went back to bed at 5 and dead to the world till 10 o'clock. So it's just, but I woke up, now I don't know if it's just, I just woke up so stiff. And it's like, that's too many hours sleep for me. I don't require 10 hours, 10 hours of sleep. Oh my God. Well, I'll take out the 15 minute, maybe a half an hour, well, not even a true half hour for going to the bathroom those 2 times. My body does not require 9.5 hours sleep. It just does not require 9.5 hours sleep. So I just, I think that I'm still in some kind of a food coma. And I woke up stiff because I slept too long. My body really requires about 5 or 6 hours sleep. When I was younger, I always thought, oh, if I could just take a nap, And now that I'm older, of course, I fall asleep in the chair during the day. Well, who you kidding? I know that happens. But I don't require a lot of sleep, so I think I'm getting too much sleep. And then between the overeating and trying to get back on track, I'm having like a sugar withdrawal headache today, but like I said, stiffness when I woke up. I don't have any fevers, I don't have chills, I don't have muscle aches or body aches or anything like that. So I know I'm not sick. It's just overeating and just the withdrawal. It's kind of like a drug addict when they go through withdrawal. I mean, not that it's anything compared to that, because I can only imagine. I've seen shows when people go through withdrawal. It's nothing like that, but. I think that my body is still saying, hey, you know what? We went 7 days in a row with sugar every single day. Where is it? And I just can't. Because even my syrup, I had sugar-free syrup. But I don't like eating the sugar-free syrup because it's got so many additives. But I like the taste of it. And it's less points. And I use too much syrup. I use like a 1/4 cup of sugar-free syrup. I know that if I use the regular syrup, I could probably get less points if I use like a tablespoon or 2, but then I like syrup on my pancakes, so I balance it out with that. But anyway, I feel bad that I gained 4 pounds, but I feel that I'm okay with it because I think it's okay to fail once in a while, because I think it gives you a sharp reminder of how well you could be doing and how well you have done in the past. And it just reminds you that you're human. We fail at so many things in life and we don't give up. And this is one thing, the more I'm really reflecting on it and recommitting to it, I just realized that I have to give myself some grace, because as much as I'd like to say it's not going to happen again, it'll probably happen again. I'm not counting on it happening again. I'm not planning on it happening again, but I know who I am, and I know that in the past I caught it quicker, and this time I didn't catch it as quick, because I've always had my failures along the way with this weight loss plan or whatever, but I always got right back on it right away. If I gained 5 or 6 pounds, I got on it right away. I didn't do that this time. I failed at that, but it's okay because I caught it before it got to 50 pounds. I caught it before it just barely got to 40 pounds, because I'm like 39 pounds, which is close enough to the 40-pound gain, which I can feel it in my movement and my walking, my sleeping, all of that stuff. And but through it all, I'm still proud of myself that I don't give up. I'm really proud, and I think that you should be too. I mean, it's going to be a hard holiday season because we like to eat, and there's so many good foods, and the candies and the cookies and the fudge, and it's just a really hard time, but don't give up on yourself. And really, all that really matters is that you're still trying. If you want to just set yourself up to just try to maintain for the whole holiday, you're trying. That's all that matters, is that you're trying. And just remember, it's okay to fail every once in a while. If you say, I'm not going to have any Christmas cookies at all, and then you have a couple Christmas cookies, don't consider yourself a failure. Just think, well, you know what? I made a mistake. I ate too many cookies. I could have only ate one or two. But, you know, it's kind of hard when there's so many. Birdie makes the best Christmas cookies, and she makes all my favorites. And so it's very hard. I do try to, last year, which is what the plan I'm planning on doing this year, is when she gave us our Christmas cookies, I froze them in little snack-sized bags, 2 cookies. So if I wanted a couple cookies, then I just take them out and thaw them out and eat them. And that's what I'm going to do again this year with the Christmas cookies. I am making for our cookie collab, which I think is the 18th or the 17th. It's one of those 2 days. It's the weekend of the 17th. I know, I should know. It's either Saturday or Sunday of December 17th or 18th. And I'm making some butter pecan cookies, which I've never made, but the recipe sounds so good. So I'm going to do that. And I'm just really looking forward to trying to lose a small amount of weight. Definitely just at least stay the same, but I would rather lose some weight. I don't want to gain any more weight. We know I don't want that clunker thing to clunk back over. So I am going to try my very, very best to stay on plan, to have a small loss. I'm not even trying for the 4 pounds for next week, because I know it's not going to happen. I mean, I know you shouldn't say never say never, but I know how my body works, and I know that I'm not going to lose 4 pounds next week. But I'll be content with losing some. So that is my plan for the week, is to lose some. And whatever it is, I'll take. I really will, because there's no giving up in me. There's no quitting. I'm still proud of how much I've accomplished. This is the most I've ever lost and kept off for this amount of time. So I'm proud of that fact. And really, all that really matters is that I'm trying. And I really am trying. It may not appear for it sometimes, but trust me, I always say, if I gain 4 pounds and I'm saying I was trying, I'm really trying to lose weight, and I gained 4 pounds, can you only imagine how much I would have gained if I wasn't trying? Because I was trying during that week not to go crazy. I started off the day, every day, trying to be really good that day. So just keep it out. Try your best. That's all we can do. So, oh gosh, 27 minutes. And she's still 30 minutes later, like SpongeBob says. Anyway, but if you're new to my channel, please subscribe, leave a comment, hit the like button, share if you think somebody may like to see it. Keep trying. That's all we can do, is keep trying. Don't give up. Be proud of yourself. I'm proud of myself, and I'm proud of you guys, because you really show me in your comments that you really are trying too. And that's really all we can do in life, is to try our best. So I will talk to you guys tomorrow.